one of them. They are swinging the bats very well right now. And Cody Bellinger maybe about as well as anybody on this team and even beyond. He's in right field tonight. He had 2 doubles and a home run last night. Aaron Judge has been held in check. John Schneider would dearly love that to continue for about the next 3 hours. No Paul Goldschmidt tonight. No Giancarlo Stanton tonight. Aaron Boone's got to move some people around, give some people a rest. But it seems what they have done, Joe, is load up on left-handed bats against Bassitt.
A lot of opposing teams do. Aaron Boone has done it as well. Chris has got that ERA under 4 again. It's very good, 3.89 in his 21 games, 20 of those starts. The end of June, he had a tough one in Boston. He gave up 8 earned runs, but he's had a fantastic month of July, and that includes that game against the Yankees. He pitched into the 6th inning, allowing 3 runs. Trent Grisham did take him deep. It was a cutter. Chris is using the 4-seam fastball more against left-handed hitters in place of that cutter. We'll see how he approaches these Yankees hitters tonight, especially from the left side.
It's really interesting if you look at Bassitt's line scores, his lines for him this year. In 10 of his 20 starts, he's given up 0 or 1 run. But he's had some 4s and 5s and an 8. But 10 out of 20 holding the opponents to either 0 or 1 run. That's what he did to the Giants in the first game out of the All-Star break, and what he is hoping to do tonight here against the Yankees. As this ball game is underway, again, beautiful night, roof open, just like the last couple of nights. And Trent Grisham at the plate, a guy who hit just 190 last year, hitting for a much better average and with more power this year. As he grounds one to the right side, what a stop by Jimenez, and safe at first is the call. As Jimenez did all he could from shallow right, could not get much on the throw. Grisham is called safe, and the Blue Jays are going to challenge right away. And to use your challenge this early in the game, they've got to be pretty sure that it's going to go their way.
Unbelievable play by Jimenez. He takes a good angle to get to that ball. He's going back and to his left, but gets nothing on the throw, and I think they're going to win this one.
Ball is in the glove. He's going to be out.
Yes, he is.
A great play by Jimenez, and it sure looks like a great decision by the replay room.
As soon as we saw John Schneider go to his ears and be instructed to challenge, you don't do that in the first inning unless you're pretty sure. And that's a good job by the Blue Jays getting the leadoff hitter.
After reviewing the call, the field is overturned. The runner is out.
Ho-hum, just a routine 4-3 to start the ball game tonight.
Well, Trent Grisham runs all right. Not a speedster for a leadoff hitter. That's not why he's in there at the top of the lineup. And that came in handy for Leo Jimenez on an outstanding play.
Let's give Vladdy a little credit, too, on the other end.
Again.
Yeah, the splits and the short hop and the stretch. And one eventful out. Here's Cody Bellinger. And obviously every base runner matters. You don't want to see anybody on in front of Bellinger. You don't want to see anybody on in front of Judge if you can help it. A strike, and it's 1-1. Again, Bellinger, an extremely hot hitter right now.
It's like Alejandro Kirk calling the signals for Bassitt.
That is caught. A little soft liner out to Bassitt for out number 2. So if you have to face Aaron Judge, and the rules dictate that you have to, 2 outs and the base is empty is the best way to do it. And so far, as we mentioned, so good. 0 for 6 with 2 intentional walks in the series. Leading the majors in batting average, on base, slugging, OPS, etc., etc. And a ground ball to short. Bichette has it, and how about that start? Chris Bassitt making some very good pitches and getting a little bit of help from his defense as well. What a play by Leo Jimenez. And the Yankees go 3 up, 3 down.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by Rogers Satellite. More coverage than ever. Sign up at rogers.com/satellite.
There are millions of square kilometers without coverage across Canada. Places where it's hard to reach 911 or just check in. Introducing Rogers Satellite, a new satellite-to-mobile texting service that connects your phone in areas without cell service, so you can connect here, here, or even here. And now anyone on any provider can try it for free. Rogers Satellite. The sky's the limit.
You see this offer from TD?
Yeah, I like that you can get cash from them. Not stuff we don't need.
Get up to $700. Start by opening a new eligible TD checking account. TD. Ready for you.
Blue Jays, Tigers, tomorrow on Sportsnet.
Bottom of the first, no score. And the Blue Jays have a new leadoff hitter tonight. Davis Schneider is in the leadoff spot. Ernie Clement is in the lineup against the lefty. He is down in the 7th spot, though. Schneider has been swinging the bat well since he got called up on June 1st. An OPS over 900. A lot of that against lefties, but he looks like he's very comfortable. He's hitting some home runs. He's taking some walks. Just one left-handed bat in the lineup with Max Fried on the mound. That is Addison Barger. And as you said, the Blue Jays have a challenge on their hands tonight.
Tough assignment. 31-year-old left-hander. Max Fried's one of the best in the game, and oftentimes he's the master of soft contact. He's going to try to cut it in on you, get you aware of the ball in. He'll go change away. He has 5 different pitches. He'll use them all. The best approach is to really try to get him in the middle of the plate so you can get your A swing off on a pitch that you can handle.
Davis Schneider handled this one pretty well, and it is caught out in left center by Trent Grisham. What a great play he just made to take an extra base hit away from Schneider.
Davis Schneider wasted no time, jumped on that first pitch. And we saw Addison Barger hit a ball to deep left center last night, but it just didn't carry as much as I thought. Grisham does a nice job flagging it down. This is a former Gold Glover. He's done it twice. Not the defender he once was, but he was on his horse and got to that one.
StatCast had that at a 31% catch probability for what it's worth. I'm sure Davis Schneider thought he had himself a ball in the gap. So a very good defensive play on both sides already tonight. And here's George Springer, who hit a home run off Max Fried on Canada Day. I think everybody remembers the grand slam later in the game that kind of blew it open, but earlier in the game Springer homered as well. Hit a solo shot in the 4th inning off Fried. Broken bat, ground ball to third. Peraza has it and throws him out. 2 down.
So that's the cutter in on your hands, and this is exactly what I'm referring to. This is what Fried does. Compare that to what Davis Schneider did. He got the first pitch cutter in the middle of the plate. But this is just bearing in on you as a right-handed batter. Just shatters George's bat. He'll throw 5 different pitches. He's got the cutter, changeup, he'll sink it, curveball, 4-seamer, sweeper, and he's got enough velocity to keep you honest.
He starts Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with a strike on the outside corner. Vladdy is 4 for 7 in the series with 2 walks. All 4 of them are singles. And he is 2 for 14 in his career against Fried. And it's 0-2. A sinker that just might have nicked the outside corner at the knees. That's bounced just foul up the first baseline. And it remains 0-2 on Guerrero. It is Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s Salsa bobblehead night tonight here at the ballpark. Vladdy caught the ceremonial first pitch before the game. He would love to make some noise here in this game and help the Blue Jays to a series victory over their rivals. Another broken bat. Man.
That's a true cutter, and that's why Max Fried has gone to this pitch so much this year. It's his most often used pitch. You see his fingers on the side of the ball, and you're just cutting it in, so you still get pretty decent velocity on the pitch, but you get a little movement in on the hands of right-handers. Lottie's doing a little extra housekeeping himself.
He likes a tidy workspace. Two down and the base is empty and an 0-2 count on Guerrero. Amazing what a guy as accomplished as Fried was before he really incorporated this pitch. Brings in a new pitch that shortly thereafter becomes his #1 weapon.
And what's remarkable to me is the velocity he's getting on that pitch. If you're throwing around 95 with your four-seamer, you'd think a cutter would be 89, 90, 91. He's throwing it up in the mid-90s.
'98. He didn't go, and it easily could have been called a strike as well, but it'll go Guerrero's way to make it 2-2. And still alive. He is tough. 5th in the American League in ERA, again coming off a blister that knocked him out of his last start 11 days ago before the All-Star break. Left after 3 innings. It's something he has had off and on over the years. Not all that often, but it's not the first time. But Aaron Boone said he is 100% good to go. They pushed his start back because of the blister. He would not have started the 6th game coming out of the All-Star break had they not needed a few extra days just to be sure.
So many different weapons, and that's what makes him even more special, and they're all very effective.
Yeah, that last weapon was 99, but he just missed. He is amped up. And he got him. Boy, nasty stuff from Max Fried. A great catch by Grisham as well, and both pitchers are off to a good start here tonight.
In-game parlay. The choice is truly yours.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
You see this offer from TD?
Yeah, I like that you can get cash from them. Not stuff we don't need.
Get up to $700. Start by opening a new eligible TD checking account. TD. Ready for you.
Welcome back to Rogers Center. After he exited the game against the Giants, Chris Bassitt turned to John Schneider in the dugout and admitted he couldn't remember a time where he scattered 10 hits and not allow a run. It was definitely a unique outcome, but not one that completely surprised his manager. That's because Schneider told me that Bassitt is always really good about having an understanding of specific situations, where he needs to be in the zone or not in the zone, has a unique way of making big pitches in big spots, then has the mindset to move on to the very next batter. Pete Walker liked the way Bassitt minimized the damage. There was some soft contact that got him into a little bit of trouble, but Walker felt like Bassitt was in charge the entire game. At the end of the day, guys, Bassitt didn't let the game speed up on him, allowing him to navigate through those tough scenarios within the game. He can give up 10 hits, but still put up zeros on the board. Dan.
Hazel, thank you. Every game presents different challenges. Sometimes you don't know how good your stuff's going to be until you get out there. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the first. Needed only 6 pitches in that first inning. And here's Ben Rice, who hit the big home run off Jeff Hoffman in the 9th inning last night. giving the Yankees a 5-4 win. He grounds one down to first. Tough stop by Guerrero, and he feeds Bassitt perfectly at the bag for the out.
Vladdy putting on a little display defensively here early in the ball game. He picked Leo Jimenez's toss in the first inning, and this is a tough hop because it's got that top spin. It is accelerating. This hop right here is accelerating, so he backs up and tries to shorten it as much as possible. Bassitt doing a good job getting over there. Right there, he decided to back up enough to make that a long enough hop. Good decision, good pick.
He's had a good year defensively.
Sure has.
Won the Gold Glove in 2022, and this certainly feels like his best defensive year since then. Here's Jazz Chisholm Jr., who hit the 3-run home run in the first inning last night off Max Scherzer. His 18th home run on the season. Clement inhibited third. The rest of the infielders backed up. That's up high, a ball and a strike.
See if Chris doesn't stay away, or if he does come in, make sure you get it in there. That's the mistake Max Scherzer made last night, trying to come in with a 3-2 fastball, and it came back to the middle of the plate for his 3-run homer in the first.
Fouled back below us, and it's 1-2. Scherzer talked about mislocation in a couple of key moments last night. I think he's very happy with how he's feeling right now, and I think he's very happy with the quality of the stuff. It's just locking in that command.
He's talked about location all of the time, and it's so important.
And another foul back by Chisholm.
And that's the cutter that Chris will run in, up and in on left-handers, just getting in there enough that it tied him up.
Kevin Gausman, Eric Lauer side by side in the dugout. Lauer is going to start the opening game of the series tomorrow night in Detroit. Big 4-game series. The Tigers, by the way, were beaten today by Pittsburgh as the Pirates completed a 3-game sweep of the Tigers. The Tigers have lost 9 of their last 10 games right now. And if the Blue Jays win tonight, they will have a better record than the Tigers. Right now at the top of the American League, the Houston Astros have the best record. They're a half game ahead of the Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays will either be tied with the Astros or they'll fall a half game behind the Tigers. All 3 division leaders are really right there with one another at the moment, with a lot of baseball still to play. Outside with a curveball, 3-2. Just shows you how crazy baseball is. The Pirates are not having a good year at all. They're 19 games under 500. And they just swept the Tigers. And Spencer Horwitz did his old team a solid. Horwitz just lit the Tigers up for 3 straight days. Had a grand slam today.
Oftentimes it's what I referred to Chris Bassitt's home road splits this year. He's much better at home, but oftentimes I like to refer to what teams you're facing when you're facing them, and that holds true for teams as well. For the Pittsburgh Pirates, they caught Detroit at a really good time. You catch them a month ago, it's probably a different story. How about Pittsburgh's new manager Don Kelly, former Tiger?
That's right. Swing and a miss, 2 down. There's that 4-seamer you were talking about.
There's that 4-seam fastball, and again, he stayed away from Chisholm this time, but it's just a different look. We're seeing, Chris, there's the grip right there. When you have your fingers across the seams like that, it's across the seams as opposed to along the seams or with the seams. It's supposed to stay a little bit more true. I think Chris has some natural arm side movement anyway, but it's a little bit of a different attack plan for lefties that he's using.
2 down for Jason Dominguez, the left fielder. The good news here for the Blue Jays is Dominguez is 0 for his last 18. The bad news is he's 5 for 6 with a double and a triple off of Bassitt. Ball and a strike. Dominguez didn't play last night, neither did Goldschmidt. Tonight it's Goldschmidt and Stanton on the bench. The first game it was Bellinger and Rice. as Aaron Boone has to keep moving people around. Stanton doesn't play more than 3 or 4 games in a row, and like a lot of managers do, you got a guy like Aaron Judge. They don't want him running around on the outfield on the turf 3 in a row. So if Judge is going to DH, that's going to knock Stanton out of the lineup. But this is how it is. They've got a lot of good hitters on this team, and obviously they'd be available in a pinch hitting situation later on, a Goldschmidt or a Stanton if need be. 2-2.
Well, Bellinger's day off was game 1 of this series, and you could really see it in that Yankees lineup. It just looked very different the way Kevin Gausman mowed through it.
The 2-2 from Bassitt. A lot of movement on that 2-seamer. And it remains 2-2.
And this is the difference with the sinker for Chris, because it's going to come back. So he's trying to get it in there, but watch it come back. Where's it coming to? It's coming to the barrel of the left-handed hitter's bat. And that's the danger of that pitch when you miss. He's gone to the 4-seamer, so it stays a little bit more true. And maybe get jammed them a little bit up there.
Misses just high, and it's 3-2. If it continues, Anthony Volpe comes up. Line drive, deep right field, and gone. And Dominguez continues to have a lot of success against Bassitt as he gives the Yankees a 1-0 lead.
Well, this is a very interesting pitch from Bassitt. It looked like a slider, not a pitch that he throws to a lot of left-handed hitters. Threw one earlier in the at-bat as well. Definitely not his best pitch, but you can see what it does. It just kind of hangs right out in the middle of the plate. Chris has gone so much to the sinker, curveball, cutter repertoire against lefties, now incorporating the 4-seamer as well, but that is not his best offering against left-handed batters.
So Dominguez now 6 for 7 in his career against Bassitt, and the Yankees now have 160 home runs on the season, the most in the major leagues. Out in front of Volpe, 0-2. Check swing and a ball that comes in high, ball 1. Six pitches in the first inning, 21 and counting here in the second. Woo, and a curveball slips out of his hand and hits Volpe in the back.
Alejandro Kirk is going to go have a little chat with him. You can see how he's got to really grip that ball. If it slips out, you've got no chance, and it just didn't do a thing. Sometimes it could be the heat. You're sweating a little bit, but clearly just didn't have the right grip on that ball.
And Alejandro Kirk is going to use a mound visit to go out and check on Bassitt. Boy was cruising along until the Dominguez at bat, although Chisholm, he did strike Chisholm out, but Chisholm fouled off some pitches, made him work, got the pitch count up a little bit. Now the number 8 hitter, he's the catcher tonight for the Yankees, J.C. Escara, after Austin Wells caught the first 2 games. That's low, ball 1. And a ground ball to second, backhanded by Jimenez, and that'll retire the side, but not before the Yankees get the first run of the night on the home run by Jason Dominguez.
for some WNBA action. Here's bumped. Oh, what a finish!
Sparks, Sun, Thursday on Sportsnet 1.
Easily lock your card in the RBC mobile app. Get the new iPad when you switch to RBC. Your idea of security happens here.
At Genesis, centered around you means reflecting your every need. Like respecting your time by bringing service to your doorstep with complimentary valet pickup and courtesy vehicle service. Because we believe Genesis ownership shouldn't cost any of your time. This is personalized service. This is what sets Genesis apart.
The National Bank Open, presented by Rogers on Sportsnet.
Folks, download the Sportsnet app for your chance to win Blue Jays gear, NHL gear, National Bank Open tickets, and more. Plus, stream live games and get instant highlights. Download it for free today. And you're looking at some special guests in attendance tonight. That is Team Nova Scotia's women's fastball team. And they will be competing at the 2025 Canada Summer Games in Newfoundland. Good luck to all.
I think they know they're on TV.
I think they do.
Good luck, ladies.
Yep. And while we're talking about athletes, I met a couple of young guys yesterday. I think you were in the vicinity when I talked to a couple of young baseball players yesterday. They were here down at batting practice. A young man named Hudson from the East York 9U Select team, and his buddy William, who's on the Lee side 9U AA team, watching Blue Jays games every single night. So hi to the guys in Leaside.
I always told our kids when I was coaching young kids baseball, watch baseball on TV.
Absolutely.
And I was told that as a youngster coming up playing the game from coaches. And when you watch the game, you learn the game, you learn the ins and outs, understand the game a little bit more completely.
1-0 Yankees, bottom of the second. Bo Bichette leading it off against Max Fried. A 2-0 count on Bichette. 2 for 9 in the series with a couple of doubles. The double he had on Monday night drove in 2 runs. There's the cutter, but it's taken inside, ball 3. Kirk is next, and then Barger. Swing and a miss, 3-1.
He's a real tough one to swing. I think 3-0, and Bo had a pretty good hack at that, but you just don't know that you're going to get something in the hitting zone.
I mean, he's got the stuff, including a good bit of velocity. He's got 5 or 6 pitches. He's got a great idea what he wants to do out there. He's a fantastic fielder for a pitcher. One hopper down to third. Peraza's got it, and a good throw to get Bichette 1 down.
There's one thing you can count on. You can probably look middle in for that cutter. I think that's what Bo did, but still tough to square it up, and that's why he is so good at getting so much soft contact.
So 1 down for Alejandro Kirk, hitting .304 on the season, and a couple of doubles on Monday night, but had an 0 for 5 last night. This is just the second time this season Alejandro Kirk is catching on 4 consecutive days. So it tells you what these games mean.
Yeah. And John Schneider said that back on Sunday when he caught, and he said, and he'll have a few more coming.
Popped up in foul territory for Rice, because if he sits last night or tonight, I don't think anybody blinks, because you're used to seeing him catch maybe 3 in a row, and then Tyler Heineman gets 1. I'll put a nickel down on Tyler Heineman catching tomorrow night in the opening game.
I'll go with a quarter.
Heineman knows his role. He understands he'll catch every 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th game as the games get bigger. And he knows exactly what his role is, and he understands Alejandro Kirk's importance to the team.
Does a job very well back there with whoever he is catching, and he's familiar with Lauer.
That is fouled off the bat of Addison Barger down the 3rd baseline. Barger, the only left-handed bat in there tonight against Fried. Barger was not in the lineup on Canada Day when Fried faced the Blue Jays, the first time he's facing him.
So Barger gets the nod from the left side today. Joey Loperfido got the nod against the lefty Rodon.
And by the way, how about the string of pitchers the Blue Jays have seen in the last, what is it, 5 games? They've seen 4 All-Stars in 5 games. Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, Carlos Rodon, Cam Schlittler, obviously not, second major league start, and then Max Fried. 4 All-Stars.
Another one coming in a couple days.
Eric Skubal on Saturday. Go get him. Nobody said it would be easy.
It is a funny thing, the schedule. Sometimes you go through those stretches where you see a lot of very good starting pitchers in a row. Kind of like sometimes you'll just see righties forever, not see many lefties, and then you'll go through parts of the schedule where maybe you try to start padding those numbers and putting up some runs. But this has been a tough stretch for sure, and they're certainly handling it very well.
It is early, but Max Fried is throwing really hard tonight. He's thrown his hardest pitch of the season in this game, and his four-seamer velocity is up 2.5 miles an hour from his season average.
Came out of that Cubs game after 3 innings with the blister before the All-Star break, so tons of rest and feeling pretty good here.
Always amazing when the guys with a build like that are throwing 98.
It's the arm speed, right? They get that arm through so fast.
And a swing and a miss. Absolutely filthy stuff in the early going here from Max Fried as he picks up his 2nd strikeout of the night. He's retired the first 6 Blue Jays he's faced.
Breaking news and a surprise contender in the marathon. Yes.
Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
This is a Tempur-Pedic mattress, and it's designed to help make aches and pains a thing of the past. So no more morning tightness or struggling to get out of bed, because only Tempur-Pedic uses our one-of-a-kind, incredibly adaptive Tempur material to relieve pressure points and support your body in a way no other mattress can. Molecule by molecule and millimeter by millimeter. All night, every night. There's nothing like Tempur-Pedic sleep.
Welcome back to Rogers Center as the Jays take on the Yankees. The energy is always different in the building when we've got this matchup, but it's especially different tonight because tonight is Salsa night here in the building. Lots going on around me, as you can see. Now, the first 15,000 fans in the building tonight got to go home with this dancing Vlad bobblehead. As you can see, he's got some moves of his own. I know a lot of fans are going to be very excited to go home with this limited edition collectible. And right now, like I mentioned, I'm looking around me right now. We've got lots of salsa dancing happening. We've got some lessons. We've also got some costumes happening. The vibes are amazing up here. Dan, how are your salsa moves?
About how you'd expect. Better not seen. 1-0 Yankees, top of the 3rd, but thanks for asking.
I second that emotion.
Oswald Peraza leads it off against Chris Bassitt. A home run by Jason Dominguez in the 2nd, the only run tonight in this ballgame. Rubber match of a 3-game series between the Yankees and Blue Jays, who will meet one more time, a 3-game series in New York in early September. Aaron Judge due up 4th here in the 3rd inning. The 1-1. Fouled off, 1-2. A lot of daytime games today in the majors, including, as we told you, the Tigers losing again, their 9th loss in 10 games. The other American League East Division teams, though, are all playing right now. The Orioles, Red Sox, and Rays are all underway in their games. And the Red Sox are losing to the Phillies again, 3-0. When Boston won 10 in a row, they swept Colorado, swept Washington, and then swept Tampa Bay. It was a pretty good team, obviously, but the other two are not. They come out of the break, Cubs, Phillies, and next the Dodgers. Sometimes who you play matters almost as much as how you're playing.
Tough schedule.
Yeah. All evens out, of course.
Lucas Giolito gave up a few early to the Phillies.
At the beginning of play tonight, the Blue Jays 3 up on the Yankees, 6 up on the Red Sox, and 6.5 up on the Rays. And a call goes Bassitt's way. Peraza didn't like it, and I doubt Aaron Boone will either.
And that's a look that a manager can get from the side. He sees the height of that pitch crossing the chest of his hitter. Very fair argument from the Yankees manager. And I like the way that Manny Gonzalez handled that right there. He heard Boone, nodded his head. Don't create an altercation. He said his piece. And there are times when umpires might just know in their head that they made a mistake. You just kind of move on from it.
You in favor of the challenge ABS 2 or 3 a game coming in? Ground ball to second. Jimenez, it staggers him a bit, but he makes the play and retires Grisham for out number 2.
I wasn't at all at the beginning, and then after spring training, Dan, I thought it was wonderful. I thought it handled the system perfectly because you limit it to the pitcher, catcher, and hitter that can challenge. You're not looking into the dugouts or the benches or anything. It's immediate. The call comes fast.
Yep.
And the biggest thing for me, like with replay in general, is you're getting rid of the egregious misses.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest thing.
And whether it's 2 or 3, as long as you're right, you keep them. They can smooth out exactly how it's going to work, but it's coming.
That'll be interesting how they handle that, because you hate to lose a couple and all of a sudden it's late in the ball game when the call is most important. And if there is an egregious mistake, you can't challenge.
0-1 the count on Cody Bellinger with 2 down on the bases empty, and Aaron Judge in the on-deck circle. And that we'll be able to go to some website and find out player challenge stats.
Sure.
Right?
Oh gosh.
Like
easy to keep track.
Vladdy's challenged 13 of them this year, and he was right on 7 and wrong on, so that'll be a whole other little subculture, whole other community, and they'll be tracking that. It'll be great. It'll be good theater, good drama. Another bouncer, and it's a 3 up, 3 down, top of the 3rd for Chris Bassitt.
Get Walmart Express delivery in under 2 hours.
Today, let's paint with Behr. Oh, you're already done.
Yeah, we painted earlier.
He did the research. Behr is the most trusted paint brand.
Guess I'm not really needed here today.
No.
He's gone.
I'm still here. Do your research and get great quality paint at an everyday low price, only at the Home Depot.
Nothing really beats a good PB&J. What about the new Game PB? What did you say to me? Game PB. Agree to disagree. Or disagree to agree.
I can see clearly now. I'm here to save you.
I want to give you the chance you need.
A chance to give.
I want to remind you that your life means a lot.
And you can share that life
With those who really need it. Here we go. One more. One more. Go, go, go. I'm here to save you. Like you're here to save me. Bright sunshine day.
Download the app for the latest odds on today's baseball games and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Welcome back inside the Rogers Center. Dan Schulman, Joe Siddle, and Hazel May. Glad you are with us. It is 1-0 Yankees going to the bottom of the third in the third and final game of this series, before the Blue Jays make the quick flight down to Detroit to open up a 4-gamer tomorrow night. Ernie Clement leads off the third. And that's going to be caught out in left center by Grisham. Ernie's been going through it the last couple of weeks. John Schneider making a change. And Davis Schneider in the leadoff spot with a lefty on the mound tonight, where Clement had been. Ernie down to 7th. And John Schneider said pregame he thinks there's a chance that maybe Clement's been worn down a little bit. This is the 39th start in the last 40 games for Ernie Clement. And he got into the other one. And I asked Ernie, I said, how you feeling? Are you a little worn down? And he said, yeah, like it's just part of being a baseball player. And you know, he's the kind of guy, when John Schneider's putting together his lineup, you want him in there, whether it's at third or second. He's also the backup shortstop and the backup first baseman. And but you know, ups and downs, and Ernie's in a bit of a valley right now.
Well, and I asked Schneider about that. I said, is it more about getting Davis's bat up there and him giving you that good plate appearance, or is it more about Ernie kind of going through it? And he said, yeah, Ernie's struggling a little bit. Of course.
Straw grounds one up the middle and is called out at first. And will the Blue Jays challenge? They're already 1 for 1 tonight, so they've still got their challenge.
I bet they challenge this. Miles Straw getting down the line.
They are not going to challenge.
So much for me being an umpire, eh?
Boy, that's a great, whatever it was, it's a great play by Chisholm.
When you have to range to your right as a second baseman with the speed of Straw, Jazz did the right thing by picking it cleanly and then getting rid of it. And he gave the short hop throw, and he gave Rice a pretty decent hop.
No, I think he was out.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, if they're not challenging, he was definitely out. Straw doing everything he could.
Yep. Close, but looked out.
Some good defensive plays here early in the ball game.
2 down for Leo Jimenez. Again, John Schneider loading up on the right-handed bats against Max Fried. Jimenez 2 for 22 with a home run. One and 2.
Walked by Leo today, and I asked him a little bit about Fried. And I said, because you didn't play in that game, right? He said, no, I did. And I said, well, wait a minute, that was the game Jimenez hit the home run.
Andres Jimenez,
he
right.
played shortstop, though, because of the injury to Bassitt, if you remember. So had a little scouting report from Max Fried, but he said a lot of the things we're saying right now. A lot of different pitches. You're trying to get something more in the middle of the plate. And what he does to you by creating so much soft contact, just doesn't let you square it up.
Yeah, it was an Andres Jimenez home run off Max Fried, a 3-run shot in the 4th inning. One of the biggest hits, obviously, of that or any other day for the Blue Jays. Inside a full count.
But he looks different today. He looks different in this game, Max Fried does.
Yeah.
That velocity is way up. And you're just seeing the swings from Blue Jays hitters. They'll tell you everything, and there haven't been a whole lot of quality swings.
Grounded to short. Volpe throws him out. And that's 9 up, 9 down for Fried.
With Fast Signs, see the visual possibility in your business. With signs and graphics, you can save anything. Transforming your space begins at our place. Fast Signs, make your statement.
And we're booked. Using less points with my TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card.
Everything's better when you save on a vacation.
More like a save-cation.
I love that. Does this sunlight feel sunnier?
Totally. Whoa. Oh, yeah.
Everything is better on Savecation.
Savecation start with the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card. TD. Ready for you.
It's the time of the year every kid dreams of.
School's out, and it looks like kids are out in full force for this Junior Jays Sunday.
The city never sleeps at night.
Junior J's Sunday at Rogers Center, where the biggest obstacle is fitting in all the fun. Join us Sundays at 10:30 a.m. for our outdoor program.
The Fantastic Fourth Inning, brought to you by Marvel Studios. The Fantastic Four: First Steps, only in theaters Friday. Aaron Judge ready to lead off the Fantastic Fourth Inning here tonight. It is 1-0 Yankees on a second inning home run by Jason Dominguez. It'll be Judge, Rice, and Chisholm against Chris Bassitt.
Chris has been using that sinker in on the righties, and I expect him to do it again with Judge, getting that good movement.
Tried it, missed just in, ball one. Including the ground out in the first inning, Judge is now 5 for 19 in his career against Bassitt. 1 home run, 6 strikeouts. I think just about any pitcher in baseball would say, I'm good with those numbers. 5 for 19 is 261. 1 home run and 19 at bats, 6 strikeouts.
Oh, he said at the outset of this series, if Aaron Judge can leave town and he's not the story, that's good news for the Blue Jays. But right now, he's not the story, and some other guys have certainly stepped up in the power department for the Yankees.
They got a lot of guys in double digits in home runs. And again, the major league leaders as a team in home runs.
Jason Dominguez hit a line drive that got out of here in a hurry.
Swing and a miss at a changeup, and Bassitt strikes him out.
Chris can invent some things out on the mound, and he just invented one. That is a circle changeup to a right-handed batter. How many of those has he thrown this year? One, maybe, couple. I haven't seen it before.
He loves the mental part of the game,
Absolutely.
the thinking part of the game out there.
And just trying something different against a guy that can hit everything.
Now a curveball swung on and missed. 0-1 on Ben Rice.
And he used that pitch after 3 sinkers in there so that it would look like the sinker.
And then a sinker fouled off by Rice. It's 0-2. Rice will catch. He'll play first and he'll DH. And Aaron Boone is fond of all of that, but he's most excited about Rice's potential as a hitter.
Good power, and it was on display last night against Jeff Hoffman, trying to go away with a fastball, and it came back over to the middle part of the plate and up. And he won the ball game with 1 swing.
Yankees have a few guys on that list. Percentage of hits that are extra base hits. Addison Barger's one of those guys for the Blue Jays, but the Yankees have a few on that list. Swing and a miss. Got him with a cutter up and away. Back-to-back strikeouts for Bassitt.
That's often Chris's MO against left-handed batters with this cutter. Yes, we've seen him run it up and in, but he'll also try to backdoor it away to lefties. There's a hole in that spot for a lot of left-handed hitters. Not too many lefties are handling the ball up and away. More low ball hitters in general.
And a perfect spot for that first pitch sinker. It's 0-1 on Jazz Chisholm Jr., who struck out in the second.
Ben Rice, like Jazz Chisholm, like a lot of left-handed hitters, throws right-handed. And I always felt if that's their dominant hand, pulling down with that bottom hand is the natural move with your swing. And I think that's why a lot of left-handed hitters that throw right are especially good low ball hitters. So you can get them up high.
1-2. One blemish, the home run by Dominguez. Other than that, 1-0 for the Yankees. He hit Volpe with a curveball that slipped out of his hand. That's the only other base runner. There's only been one hit in the game total, and that's the Dominguez home run. He's putting the ball where he wants to put the ball almost all the time. Did not go. He likes, again, that cutter up, but Chisholm wouldn't chase it.
He's going up there. Chisholm's a very disciplined hitter. He will take his walks. I think you get more chases from him on the balls down. The breaking pitches and off speed down.
Got him. And Chisholm knew it. That's where he wanted that two-seamer in on the lefty. Another good pitch by Bassitt. He just struck out the side. Got Aaron Judge, got Ben Rice, and got Jazz Chisholm Jr. for out number 3.
National Bank Open presented by Rogers on Sportsnet 1 and Sportsnet 360.
More soup, salad, and garlic home loaf? That's all you can eat.
Are you kidding me?
You always get more than you can maja. With Eastside Mario's all-you-can-eat soup, salad, and garlic home loaf.
Here's to those who build Canadian, like Kevin, who turned to his local home hardware to help design and build a tiny home away from home. And Siobhan, who asked her neighborhood store how to make her yard the envy of her neighbors. And Eric and Sasha, who brought their dream outdoor living space to life while it was still warm out. Whatever your home needs, we're here in over 1,000 communities across the country. Home hardware and building centers are proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
There are millions of square kilometers without coverage across Canada. Places where it's hard to reach 911 or just check in. Introducing Rogers Satellite, a new satellite to mobile texting service that connects your phone in areas without cell service. So you can connect here, here, or even here. And now anyone on any provider can try it for free. Rogers Satellite. The sky's the limit.
Blue Jays, Tigers, tomorrow on Sportsnet.
Canada's premier tennis event is right around the corner as some of the world's biggest stars get set to hit the courts in Toronto and Montreal for the National Bank Open presented by Rogers. The action kicks off this Sunday right here on Sportsnet. It's 1-0 Yankees going to the bottom of the 4th. Chris Bassitt's been really good. Max Fried's been great so far tonight. 9 up and 9 down. So it's top of the order. Davis Schneider, George Springer, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This surprised me when I looked it up. Davis Schneider led off 27 times last year. We were talking about it, and I thought, yeah, maybe a handful.
Not that much, yeah. Wow.
I can't even imagine all the things I'm forgetting these days.
Go day to day.
Yeah. Schneider pops it up. Rice backpedaling into shallow right to make the catch.
Their greatest strength is each other. Experience Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four: First Steps, only in theaters Friday. Get tickets now.
What great weather it has been all week long. Like, it's always fun to have two good teams playing, and it's always fun to have big crowds in the roof. But when the roof is open and the weather is great, and you know, I'm sure you have this as well. You have friends or acquaintances who come in from elsewhere, maybe their first time here, their first time in many years here, and you get a text from them and say, "Wow," or they're down on the field for batting practice or whatever, and they go, "Man,
this weather's been especially good lately with the humidity gun."
Yep. There's the first base runner of the night for the Blue Jays, George Springer, with a 1-out single.
So see if George can't get this team going here against Max Fried. There's that four-seam fastball. Four-seam grip.
Coming in at almost 97 miles an hour as Fried continues to throw exceptionally hard here tonight. Here's Guerrero, who struck out in the first. And takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. Fried also really tough to run on. Has maybe the best pickoff move in the majors. I asked Aaron Boone before the game, can you compare Fried's to Andy Pettit's? And Andy Pettit had like just legendary pickoff moves. And Aaron Boone says the correct question is, can you compare Andy Pettit's to Max Fried?
That good.
And he said what he'll do is he'll lift that right leg and he'll just freeze and stare at the runner, and he'll make up his mind at the last possible moment whether he's going home or going to the plate. If he sees a flinch or a lean, he's got you. He's got 6 pickoffs this year.
Sure, that's why Mark Budzinski has made it clear with his base runners. Just when you think you're okay, take another half step back.
Yeah. As Springer did on that pitch. 2-2.
There aren't a lot of left-handed pitchers that can lift their leg and almost read the runner and hang there for a split second, and he's one of them. If he sees you take off, boom, he can drop his foot and get it over to first base quickly.
So are you better off just kind of shutting down the running game?
I think you have to. I wouldn't take the gambles. This isn't a game. I would take the gambles, and it's too bad because against good pitcher, you get a guy on you. You got to try something because it's going to be very difficult to string hits together. But it just becomes such a weapon for you as a pitcher, a left-handed pitcher.
2-2 on Guerrero. Loops it foul over near the first base dugout.
Vladdy looking down at his bat because he thought he broke another one. That cutter again coming inside on him. It's the type of pitch that a lot of these right-handed hitters probably think they're on it, and then by the time they make contact, it's a couple inches lower than they thought toward the label.
Fouls off another one. So the previous pitch, as you said, was a cutter at 96.4 miles an hour.
It's crazy to get that velocity on a ball that's cutting. You can see with the four-seam fastball that stays more true and just spins, backspins, but he's cutting the baseball. That should cut down more of the velocity, and it's remarkable what he's getting on those cut fastballs.
I mean, he's throwing some cutters harder than he threw his four-seamer this inning. And then he's got a curve in the high 70s. There's a ball hit down the left field line by Guerrero. Springer is on his way to third, and he is getting the wave and is in to score. A big hit in a big moment for Guerrero, and he brings in Springer with the Blue Jays' first run of the night.
Well, I think Vladimir Guerrero Jr. got tired of that cutter coming in on his hands tonight from Max Fried, and he is going to abbreviate this swing, just pull the hands in, and that's how you get the barrel to it. And when George Springer comes barreling around second base, he's thinking one thing. Right here, he sees the baseball, now he's picking up Carlos Febles, and he gets the wave.
A big hit for Guerrero, and just a quick thought on Springer. The number of 35-year-olds who can routinely score from first on a double, that's a pretty select group. There aren't that many of them running around Major League Baseball right now. He's winded, and he deserves it.
Moving
right now.
well.
Yeah. He has been one of their best base runners. He's 12 for 12 stealing bases, and he's also one of their best at taking the extra base, 2 bases on a single or scoring on a double.
And that's so critical in this situation when you're facing a Max Fried. If you can't score there, you've got second and third, one out. Max Fried can still easily get out of this inning without a run.
There's a ground ball to the left side. Peraza will look the runner back and throw out Bassitt. And how about Carlos Febles at third? I mean, he seems to be bang on with his decision-making, sending guys home this year.
He really, if you study him, and I was watching him as George was running from second to third, because from our vantage point, I lost the ball down the left field corner. I can't see the left field corner from where we are. I watched him, and he literally is standing, waiting, and then when he makes that decision, he makes it with authority, waving that arm.
And as is the case with every third base coach, you've got to consider how many outs, the speed of the runner, who's up next, what's the score, the arm of the outfielder. That's a lot of information coming at you fast.
He gets down that third base line to see the ball, then he makes sure he's in the visual field of the runner approaching the third base bag so Springer could pick him up and see him.
A very slow curve in for a strike. 1-1 on Alejandro Kirk. Springer still huffing and puffing. But he ran hard for 270 feet. That one is in the dirt, bounces away from Escara. Guerrero holding his ground at second. He's already in scoring position. Carlos Febles would love to wave Vladdy home.
That was such a great adjustment by Vladdy there, because this cutter wasn't just in, it was in off the plate, but you can see as if you want to rush it, you can get that foot down quickly to allow the bat to come through, and that's exactly what he did. He got the barrel to it.
A look back by Fried, and it's high, 3-1. Got a base open, and the left-hand hitting Addison Barger on deck. That's ball 4. And Escara is on his way out to the mound, and the rest of the Yankee infielders are going to check in on Fried as well. 2 on, 2 out with Barger coming up. Boy, these are big moments for a guy who's 25, really just still getting his feet wet in a sense, at the major league level, and Addison Barger, and now he's a key middle of the order guy for the Blue Jays. Not always playing against lefties, but getting an opportunity tonight against one of the very best lefties in the majors in a game that has huge implications for the Blue Jays.
And I think based on Addison's first at bat, a lot of fastballs, 4-seamers and sinkers, but everything was pretty well away. One of the sinkers was down and in. He can go ahead and cheat out over the plate. Just look out over. If he throws a good sinker in, you tip your hat. But I think the only way to beat him if you're Barger is to catch one of those fastballs that are out over the plate.
Guerrero at second, Kirk at first. And a ground ball to the left side. Peraza with a diving stop, and Barger is safe. A little bit of trouble getting rid of it, and the bases are loaded. It is an infield hit for Barger to load the bases, and I'm wondering, Joe, if he might have had a better shot at second because Kirk was the runner, but maybe he just, didn't think in the moment who was running, so he took the shot at first, and Barger's got good enough speed to beat it out.
Nice job by Addison, looking out over the plate for that fastball. Hit it hard, almost found the hole, but it still works.
They're loaded for Ernie Clement, who hit a fly ball to center on the first pitch he saw his first time up. Again, Clement's been in a bit of a funk the last couple of weeks. What a nice time this would be for him to come up with a big base hit. And he's done it. Lines it into center. Guerrero comes in to score. Kirk is held, and it is 2-1 Blue Jays.
They just keep coming at you. Some great at-bats this inning, going all the way back to Springer leading things off. But Ernie Clement, this ball gets in on him, and this is the cutter from Fried. He didn't get all of it, but he got enough of it.
So, Canada Day, Max Fried, 3 hitless innings to begin the game. And then the Blue Jays got 4 runs off him in the 4th. Tonight, 3 perfect innings to begin the game. And they've got 2 runs off him here in the 4th, and the bases loaded with 2 outs. If you weren't watching earlier, it's hard for us to accurately convey how dominant Max Fried was the first 3 innings tonight. What has changed here in the 4th?
Well, perfect through 9. That's how good he was through the first 3 innings. But I think what has changed is some really good approaches. I think Vladdy almost adjusted his swing. He altered it to get to it.
That's off the foot of Fried, but the out will be recorded. What a good play by Peraza to prevent the Blue Jays from scoring another run. And they will wind up leaving the bases loaded. John Schneider is still looking back, but they will not challenge. Boy, bounced over to Ward's third. Peraza makes a great play, but the Blue Jays get 2 and have the lead.
Well then, that was the Fantastic 4th inning, brought to you by Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four: First Steps, only in theaters Friday.
On July 25th.
The Fantastic Four.
The best team ever. Go time.
Human Torch. Light him up, Johnny! Flame off. Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic. No! And the Thing.
Herbie, how's that sauce looking?
That is fantastic.
I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip. Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four. Get tickets now.
With BetMGM, any moment on the field can turn into winnings. From towering home runs to game-changing plays, BetMGM keeps you locked into the action with real-time stats and big-time betting options. Cash in on your winning picks with bets you can't find anywhere else. Don't miss a single play with real-time stats, because with BetMGM, any play can be your shot at victory. BetMGM, the sportsbook where we know how to treat you right.
From the Corona rooftop patio for Salsa night, where the party is continuing. It is in full swing still. We brought it up from the WestJet flight deck all the way up here to the 500 level. I've got Dancing Vlad here with me. He's still dancing, as you can see. This is the giveaway to the fans tonight. And these guys behind me, well, they're still dancing as well. I'll tell you this. I've been up to the Corona rooftop patio many times this season. I have never seen it like this on a weeknight. Dan, they are bringing the heat.
Some good salsa vibes, and watching a first place team as they take on the team right behind them in the standings. One of their rivals, the New York Yankees. The Blue Jays just got 2 in the bottom of the 4th and lead 2-1. And this is Jason Dominguez, who homered off Chris Bassitt in the 2nd. 2 runs on 4 hits in that bottom of the 4th. Guerrero an RBI double to score Springer, and Clement an RBI single to score Guerrero. And then that close to another run, but for a really good play down at third by Peraza. Outside, 2 balls and a strike.
You're Miles Straw, you hit a ball like that, it could go in so many different directions, and it's an infield hit and a run scoring, and it goes right toward the third baseman. That was just some tough luck to end the inning.
He's been kind of robbed twice tonight. Chisholm made a great play on him up the middle his first time up. It's another example of how when you don't strike out very much, you know, as long as the quality of contact is pretty good, you're going to put pressure on the other team and you're going to find ways to score runs. Obviously, everybody wants to hit the ball over the fence. But if you're not a big time home run hitting team, you know, cutting down on the swing and a miss has really served the Blue Jays well. They've got, as people probably know, the lowest swing and a miss rate, the lowest strikeout rate, both by sizable margins. this year. Fried's been fantastic. The stuff has been fantastic tonight. And he's got 2 strikeouts in 4 innings. And in their last 5 games, the Blue Jays have only struck out 22 times. In today's game, that's nothing. Swing and a miss. And that's 4 strikeouts in a row for Bassitt.
Speaking of strikeouts, I think, too, when you look at that inning, we talked about Springer leading things off. Vladdy making an adjustment to his swing, doing what he did. And then with Ernie Clement, he just really tries to make that contact. You've got a struggling hitter that's just literally probably trying to put the ball in play. Gets jammed a little bit on a cutter, but finds that hole up the middle. So good adjustments throughout the lineup.
Now Anthony Volpe, who was hit by a pitch, a curveball that got away from Bassitt and hit Volpe in the back. That was back in the 2nd inning. The Yankees have had just 2 base runners, the Dominguez home run and the Volpe hit by pitch. Inside 2-0. And right at the bell, 2-1. This is the 3rd time the Yankees have seen Bassitt this year, once in each series so far. No secrets at this point between teams in the same division.
No, I think with Chris, too, it's just about him absolutely pitching. Like, he can change speeds, he can change his MO. Yes, he uses, I will say, his 3 pitches the most, the sinker, curveball, and cutter, but he mixes it up. He does become very unpredictable.
Way up in the air to left. Schneider's still going back, and it carries out. Boy, Volpe went up and got one that was up and out of the strike zone, and he hits it out to left to tie the game.
Well, this is a very high pitch above the zone. It's a cutter, but he really got to it. And it just kept carrying. He hit it so high, and it felt like it just kept going. Watching Davis Schneider go after it, it's almost like he just turned around and went after it, and it gets out easily.
I got one for you. The Yankees have 8 runs in this series. How many of them do you think have come on home runs?
A lot of them.
8. And I mean, this is a little bit exaggerated, but this is who they are. They score on home runs more than just about any other team. Sometimes they struggle to score without the benefit of the home run. They've got 6 homers for all 8 of their runs in this series. The Blue Jays have yet to hit a home run in this series. So 2 down, and the base is empty for the number 9 hitter, Oswald Peraza, who was called out on strikes in his first at bat. Hits a 2-hopper to Leo Jimenez, and that'll be that. But their second home run tonight has tied it for the Yankees, as we check in with Jamie Campbell for an update.
For the in-game tracker, brought to you by Bet365. Let's start with the Boston Red Sox in Philadelphia. Kyle Schwarber, with his 34th of the year, is followed immediately by Bryce Harper. There's the view from behind the plate. Harper's 14th. It comes off Lucas Giolito. And the Phillies right now have a 5-0 lead in the 5th. Tampa Bay built a 4-0 lead on the Chicago White Sox. Yandy Diaz in the first, a couple of batters later. Junior Caminero goes deep as well. That's 26 for him. But the White Sox have rallied. Colson Montgomery, who hit a home run yesterday, his first in the major leagues, has number 2 in the bigs, and this is a 3-run shot. Taj Bradley for the Rays now out of the ballgame. They're in the second, tied at 4. That is the in-game tracker, brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
good whole wheat shreddies. But wait, warm cinnamon, velvety vanilla, cinnamon vanilla flavored shreddies. Same great square, new delicious flavor.
August 29th, don't miss the show after the show. Post-game fireworks will light up the night above Rogers Center, weather permitting. Make sure to start your Labor Day weekend off with a bang. Get your tickets today at bluejays.com/promotions. Guys.
Emily, thank you. Good ball game, as they always seem to be between these two teams. It is tied at 2 going to the bottom of the 5th. Rubber match of the 3-game series. If the Yankees win, they leave town 2 games back. If the Blue Jays win, the Blue Jays move 4 games ahead of the Yankees and clinch the season series, which would give them the tiebreaker in all two-way ties between these two teams. Up high, 1-1 on Leo Jimenez. John Schneider was asked about tiebreakers before the game. He said, yeah, they are certainly aware of them, but in this moment, does he go into this game thinking about the tiebreaker? No. They go into the game thinking about winning the game. And you win enough and all that other stuff sorts itself out. Got enough to think about trying to figure out how to beat Max Fried.
It's hard for managers to think that far ahead. They're so consumed with the day-to-day. And I'm sure every manager in your division, you're always peeking around your own division. John Schneider said that's it. Of course, you're following the Red Sox and the Rays and the Yankees and the Orioles, but when you're looking at tiebreakers, you're looking at the final few days of the season, and they know they've got a lot of work before that.
Grounded to third. And Peraza another play to get Jimenez as we check in with Hazel.
Dan, I asked Davis Schneider for a scouting report on Max Fried, and he said, well, he definitely messes with your timing with that slight hesitation. He throws all of his pitches well, so you can't really sit on a type of pitch. He works in and out well. If you're thinking away, then he'll come in on you and vice versa. So besides good stuff, Dan, Schneider said Fried is just so unpredictable. Guys?
Hazel, thank you. There's no question, Joe, if you start saying who were the toughest starting pitchers in baseball, I mean, Tarek Skubal, Paul Skeens, those two might be just a tick above everybody else. But this guy's in the conversation or in the very next group.
He certainly is. And I think when you're talking about the weapons that Hazel's referring to or David Schneider's referring to, so many weapons, but all quality. He doesn't have too many bad pitches. He can do so many different things, and that word unpredictable, I think, goes for the other guy tonight too, what Chris Bassitt is doing to the Yankees lineup. This is why it's been such a great pitching matchup here tonight.
And two guys who go about it so differently.
Yep. Joy of this game, isn't it? Can do it so many different ways.
3-0 on Schneider. Like Fried kind of came out of his delivery a little bit there. George Springer, who got it going in the 4th inning with a 1-out base hit. The Blue Jays scored 2 an inning ago off Fried. Remember, Schneider has only swung at a 3-0 pitch once in his major league career. And he won't add to that, but he will draw a walk.
Interesting to see a changeup there from Fried. You would think they would have the scouting report that we do and lay a fastball right in there to try to get back in the count.
So a base runner with 1 out for Springer. 1 for 2, a ground out and a base hit. And there was a different looking delivery there from Fried. Again, there's a runner at first, but a much slower raise of his right leg, and he can just try to mess with the minds of the base runners so many different ways. That time much quicker to the plate.
And you earn that reputation based on the things that he has done, based on the runners that he has picked off at first base. 7 pickoffs this year, tied for first in the big leagues, first in the American League. So when you know that going in, you're not going to take many chances.
The first year of an 8-year deal. Rice racing over, and it's off the top of the padded railing before Rice could get there. So still 0-2 on Springer. Fried, one of the big free agent signings in the offseason. The former Atlanta Braves signing an 8-year, $218 million deal to be a Yankee.
Looked like Max may have just taken a look at his index finger there.
That's where the blister was. And you got to believe that somebody in the Yankee dugout probably saw that. They're probably checking with him between innings. I mean, Davis Schneider was hightailing it back to the bag on that one. And you got to play it safe, right?
And when you go up slowly with the leg, it's tricky because then as a hitter, you're waiting. So then you're waiting for the fastball and you get the changeup. So George tried to wait as long as he could. So you're messing the timing with the base runner, but at the same time, you're still messing with the timing of the hitter.
Some guys, when they try to, incorporate a little something extra in their delivery, it'll mess them up. Maybe mess with their command or execution a little bit, but that's not the case with Fried.
Well, most Blue Jays fans remember Marcus Stroman, and you know how he used to alter his delivery and all. And people would say, well, why would you do that? Well, because it disrupts the timing of a hitter. But why don't more people do it? Because it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to do. You have to really have total control of your body.
Well, Yariel Rodriguez does it a little bit. Think of Johnny Cueto. I mean, who did it more than Johnny Cueto?
It was called the Cueto for a while.
Yeah. If there's a save situation, that guy might be getting it tonight. Jeff Hoffman's pitched 4 the last 5 days. 2-2 on Springer, who is having a good at bat and making Max Fried work pretty hard here. His at bats have been so consistently good the entire season.
They have. Huge part of this Blue Jays lineup, especially coming in, the expectations at the beginning of the year. Things were not looking as good for George in terms of a rebound. But wow, what a move he's made.
The pitch in the dirt and a delayed go there by Schneider, who might have thought that ball had bounced a little bit further away from Escara, and the Blue Jays are going to lose a base runner. He is looking into the dugout as if thinking that he might have been in there safely, and the Blue Jays are going to challenge.
Well, when you're the one running in there and sliding, you can feel the tag, and you know when your hand is getting in there. And Davis clearly felt that even the ball maybe got there, that maybe he got his hand and missed the glove.
But looking,
looks like
he's in there, yeah. But looking at it on the replay, I don't think it was he thought it bounced away. It kind of looked just like a delayed steal when he went. But one way or another, what matters the most is he safe or out? The hand looks like it beats the tag, and then Chisholm doesn't keep the tag on him. It looked like Schneider did lose contact with the bag, but Chisholm had lifted the tag off of him. So are the Blue Jays going to be 2 for 2 tonight in the challenge department?
Escara did a great job blocking the ball and keeping it very close to him. And as a base runner, you're getting that secondary lead. And again, it goes back to what Fried does to these base runners. You're keeping them close. You're keeping them from getting too much of a secondary lead. So all of that comes into play.
You can hear how the crowd feels. Call on the field was out.
Davis is very fortunate not to hurt his hand or fingers.
Yeah.
Those bases do not move.
And then he reaches back. Now he's got his foot on the bag, but again, Chisholm had taken the tag off him. The only question is, did he beat it there initially? And it appears that he did, but they are having a good long look at this one, Joe, so you never know.
The angle we're seeing is clearly looks like his hand is in there before Chisholm applied the glove tag. And it did not hold the tag on. That could be the difference.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is safe.
I'll tell you what.
Be popping some champagne bottles in that replay room.
The replay room is having a heck of a night tonight. 2 for 2.
And a great read by Schneider. He did everything right.
And they are crediting Schneider with a stolen base on that play. Not that he went because the ball was in the dirt. So it's 3-2 on Springer, and that's ball 4. So back-to-back walks given up by Fried, and a couple of men on for Guerrero. And a big moment for Vladdy an inning ago. Got a number of cutters in on his hands, and it was eventually able to turn on one and line it into the left field corner for an RBI double. Let's see what Fried's game plan is in this at bat. .95 at the knees, 0-1. That one bounces away to the backstop, and both runners will advance. Boy, and all of a sudden, Max Fried's command is starting to elude him. And you mentioned he looked down at his index finger earlier this inning. Remember, he had a blister problem in his last start. We don't know if it's bothering him again. But he bounces in the curveball, and that just sneaks past Escara. That'll be a wild pitch. Second and third, one out. The middle infielders are still backed up. And a little bouncer towards third. Schneider coming to the plate, and he's safe. And now Springer coming in behind him. And somehow the Blue Jays get 2 runs out of that.
This ball couldn't have been hit 40 feet up the third baseline. Max Fried is a Gold Glover. He is a fantastic defender at his position. He decided to fire at home. They may have had a shot at Schneider, but Escara could not hold on to the baseball as it took off out of his glove. And then Springer from behind Fried just keeps on rolling.
Being left-handed made it harder there on Fried. I don't know if they get him even if it's clean at the plate, but then the fact that it kicked away gave the Blue Jays a second run. And again, George Springer, head up, running hard, comes in to score, and it is 4-2 Blue Jays.
It looked like Fried maybe was thinking of a little option pass and just shoveling it home, but he actually turned and threw it sidearm. But Escara cannot hold on, applying the tag to Schneider, and the ball takes off on him.
It is a fielder's choice for Guerrero that brings Schneider in, and then a throwing error charge to Fried that brings the second run in.
Right there, looked like he was just going to shovel it like an option pass, but then he decided to throw it. And if Escara holds on to the ball, it's a really close play because Schneider was sliding into his foot.
So a 3-time Gold Glover, Max Fried, commits an error. Matt Blake, the pitching coach for the Yankees, has been on the phone. The fourth and fifth innings have been incredibly different from the first 3 for these Blue Jay hitters and for Max Fried. And now told Guerrero is credited with an RBI on the play, as that is lined out to second, and a leaping catch made by Chisholm, and then he throws it past Rice. And the Yankees continue to throw the ball around on the infield as they have at times in all 3 games in this series.
Well, a really ill-advised throw here by Chisholm. Once he caught the ball, Vladdy was going back to the first base bag comfortably, and then Rice got blocked off by the base runner. Once he catches the ball, you see Vladdy's back there. That's a silly throw, but then Rice is caught behind Vladdy.
You know, again, you don't strike out, you put the ball in play, and subpar defensive teams will show you why they are subpar defensive teams eventually. 2 errors in the inning, and now activity in the bullpen. Jonathan Loaiza goes up. So Guerrero's in scoring position with 2 down for Kirk. And a grounder down to third. Peraza will throw him out, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Blue Jays get 2 runs this inning without the benefit of a hit. Davis Schneider sliding in safely. 4-2 Blue Jays after 5.
Introducing Blue Jays post-game fireworks shows. On August 1st, night mode takes on a new meaning.
The lights are shining bright here at Rogers Center.
Be here for fireworks on the field.
Vladdy with a monster shot.
And the show after the game.
You can't leave early, folks.
Stay in your seats, because after the Blue Jays light up the field, we'll light up the skies with the post-game fireworks show. Night mode and fireworks. City Connect Friday. Lights up, let's go. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Galactus asked too high a price. He said, give us your child and I will spare the earth.
I am not giving him up. We will face this together as a family.
Fantastic Four. Get tickets now.
What do Canada's most passionate burger lovers think about the Teen Burger? How is it?
It's stellar. The patty's nice and juicy. What I love about A&W is the beef. The quality of A&W's beef is unmatched.
Taste the Teen Burger at A&W.
It's a nice day to start again.
How about the emotion in the ballpark the last 3 games, the rubber match of this 3-game series between the first-place Blue Jays and the second-place Yankees. Yankees had the early lead. They've hit a couple of home runs, but the Blue Jays have been kind of doing what they've done a lot this year, getting guys on base, putting pressure on other teams, putting the ball in play. They got a couple of big hits in the 4th, and then freed 2 walks, 2 wild pitches, and there were 2 errors. There were no hits in the bottom of the 5th for the Blue Jays. 2 walks, 2 wild pitches, and 2 errors, because they've now taken the stolen base away from Davis Schneider. The ruling is that he advanced on a wild pitch, that he saw the ball in the dirt and then advanced. So, I mean, when you look at it, Fried walks a couple. They commit 2 errors, one of them by Fried, throw 2 wild pitches, and the Yankees really helping the Blue Jays out here that inning.
It was a great read by Davis Schneider. You take that chance. You read that breaking ball in the dirt like he did, and Oscar did a great job as a catcher. He kept it close to him, but he just gets in there, and that really set the stage for the following events. George with another great plate appearance, drawing that walk to keep things rolling.
A little bit of a delay. Chris Bassitt asked for some work to be done on his landing spot on the mound between innings. So he has just finished his 8 warm-up pitches. And here come the Yankees in the top of the 6th. And this has the feel, Joe, of a very big inning. The Blue Jays have just taken the lead, and it's the top of the order coming up for the Yankees. Grisham, Bellinger, and Judge. Springer's been on base twice with a hit and a walk. He has scored a couple of runs. Guerrero has driven in a couple of runs. And a foul off down the left field line. 0-1 on Grisham, who was 0 for 2. The Yankees have just 2 hits off Chris Bassitt, 2 solo home runs. Jason Dominguez and Anthony Volpe. You like where Bassitt is at in terms of his pitch count too right now, just 71.
Very efficient, a lot of fastballs. He's taking a page out of that Kevin Gausman book from the other night, using his sinker tons and mixing in the 4-seamer as well.
Good location, but it eats up Guerrero. And Grisham is on his way to second. Boy, it looked like Vladdy had it in his sights, and almost like he may have stumbled to an extent before the ball got there. He could not make the play.
I think he backed off, but then he wanted to come and get it. Like right there, he backed off, but then he thought, if I come and get it, I can avoid that hop, and he was too late with the decision. Little indecisiveness there, and it cost him.
A two-base error on Guerrero, and now Bellinger. When you just hate to open up the door at all for the Yankees, especially in this part of the lineup. And now Bellinger sends one to right field, but there to make the play is Barger. Grisham tagging, and it will come to third. So they've got a runner at third, one out, and Judge coming up. And now what is John Schneider's decision going to be in terms of whether or not they pitch to Judge?
It's like there's a conversation going on.
Doesn't look like he's signaling. Bassitt's got his back to the dugout right now, making his way back to the mound. And it looks like they're going to let Bassitt pitch to Judge. They let Scherzer pitch to Judge last night.
How many times can you keep this guy down, though? That is the question.
Infield back for the Blue Jays. They'll concede a run on a ground ball.
Pitcher catcher going over it on the bench for the Blue Jays.
Judge a ground out and a strikeout tonight. Down the middle, 0-1.
And I'm sure part of that conversation, even Max and Tyler Heineman there, as a pitcher and catcher, you're saying you can pitch around him, of course. But I've always felt as a catcher, it's the toughest thing in the world, because you're basically saying, pitch him close, but just make sure he doesn't beat you. But if you walk him, it's okay. And to me, I'd rather just block or right. You're either going after him or you're putting him on. Bassitt's going after him.
And it's hit to right center field and gone. It is a two-run home run for Judge, and that will tie the game. I believe there's going to be a crew chief review here to see if the ball was up over the blue padded top. It certainly appeared to be by the railing, and anything over that blue padded wall is a home run. And John Schneider's going to ask for a crew chief review. This is standard, but it sure looked like it was gone.
The call on the field was a home run. Toronto's challenging whether it was fan interference.
Did his hands extend down to where the wall is?
Didn't look like it. Looked like that ball was going to hit the railing anyway.
Well, at times they've intentionally walked him more than any other team in baseball this year. Twice in this series, 7 times this season, but elected not to, and it cost them. Barring this get overturned, but even then it would be a double. But it sure didn't look like the hands were that far down, so that should be a home run.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. It's a home run. That was a crew chief review. They are not charged with talent.
Well, Bassitt came back with a sinker after he threw a first pitch sinker that Judge took for a strike. But you were just playing with fire with this man at the plate.
His 37th home run of the season. And with that home run, that's why this ball is being taken out of play. It is his 352nd home run, and that moves him into 6th place on the Yankee all-time list, one ahead of Alex Rodriguez. So a brand new ball game, tied at 4. And 2 costly plays, right? The error by Guerrero, and then the decision to pitch to Judge. And it's a tie game.
It's a tough one. I mean, Max Scherzer pitched to him last night, and I was a little bit surprised. I thought they'd also, I just felt with the number of times they've intentionally walked him this year that they're just not going to let him beat them in a critical situation. And this was as critical as it comes. Still a lot of baseball to play, but just always the feeling is, looked like the Blue Jays said, not going to let him beat us. You put him on, and you'll take your chances with the following hitters.
And the following hitters had not done anything against the Blue Jays, either in this series or the last. Swing and a miss, and Rice strikes out, 2 down.
Well, when he times it up, he is as good as anyone. And you can see a little leg kick that he gets, and he just sits on that backside until he makes the decision to swing. And when he makes that decision, he unleashes. And he can handle pitches all over the zone.
Now Chisholm 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts tonight against Bassitt.
I think the tantalizing part is because of all of the swing and miss you see from Judge. You can strike him out, so you always believe this is the situation we can get him right here. But when you think about what could happen, that's the dangerous part. And they talk about this, they meet about this before a series, they meet about before a game, and you go over these scenarios.
Well, when they intentionally walked him last night, it was in the 8th inning, 2 outs. And the bases empty, and it was a tie game at the time, 4-4, and Justin Brule was the pitcher, so nobody on, 2 outs.
And they pitched to him last night, though, in the 1st inning.
Right, when Scherzer was on the mound.
With the open base.
Right.
And then Jazz Chisholm homered, so maybe you're still thinking a little bit of that.
When they intentionally walked him on Monday, Kevin Gausman was the pitcher. It was in the 3rd inning, and it was a runner at second and 2 down with Chisholm on deck. There was no score in the game at the time. So sometimes they pitched to him, sometimes they've walked him. Obviously, innings score, who's behind him, all comes into play. But for whatever reason, the scales tipped in the other direction in this one, and Judge made him pay. Home run number 37 on the season for Aaron Judge. And going to the bottom of the 6th, the Yankees and Blue Jays are tied again.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by Rogers Satellite. More coverage than ever. Sign up at rogers.com/satellite.
It's back. The batter's box is back. 6 pieces of signature chicken, medium taters, medium gravy, and 2 biscuits. Get it with Jose's new sweet habanero sauce for $22.99. Only at Mary Brown's Chicken.
Crave delicious, crave Canadian.
When you play with BetMGM Casino, you can bring the magic of Vegas home. Download BetMGM Casino and play.
BetMGM, where we know how to treat you right.
Sparks begin to fly. Joy I can't deny. I can touch the sky.
The National Bank Open, presented by Rogers on Sportsnet.
Fans, this is your last chance. Sales close at midnight tonight for the jackpot of the summer, which is $2.3 million and climbing. And how cool is this? Joe Carter will be calling the winner tomorrow morning. Head to bluejays.com/5050 to get your tickets now from Ontario or Nova Scotia. Dan?
Emily, thank you. Tied at 4, bottom of the 6th with a lot on the line. Rubber match of the 3-game series. The Blue Jays will be either 2 up or 4 up on the Yankees at the conclusion of this game. Max Fried at 87 pitches as he begins the bottom of the 6th. Addison Barger leading it off. And a curveball for a strike. Barger 1 for 2, had an infield hit his last time up. Part of that 2-run 4th inning. Back to the curveball, and he hooks it foul down the line, 0-2. And Loaizaga up for the 2nd time. with, of course, a ton of right-handed bats in the Blue Jay lineup tonight, with the lefty starting the game. 3 curveballs in a row, Joe, and he gets them.
Well, you'd seen a lot of fastballs. Remember last at bat I said I'd be going up if I'm Barger looking for the fastball. He got one and he got himself an infield hit, but Max Fried flipped the script this time and really overmatched him.
Third strikeout of the night for Fried. Here's Clemens. And Ernie is 1 for 2, had an RBI single in the 4th, a 2-out RBI single. Boy, look at the movement on that pitch, way inside on him. 2-0. That's David Popkins, hitting coach, talking to Addison Barger after that last at bat. Cutter for a strike, 2-1. And another one in on his hands, this time fouled off by Clement. 2-2. And the first sign of any activity in the Blue Jays pen tonight. Braden Fisher and Justin Brule are both up. Both teams may be down a couple of guys in the bullpen tonight. Without question, Jeff Hoffman's down. 2 in a row and 4 out of 5. Everything else, I think, is up for discussion in terms of who may be available, but it'll all unfold in real time. Bassitt looks like he's still in the game. And a fly ball to right.
Lost it.
Bellinger can't find it. And Clement is coming to third. And what a break for the Blue Jays.
Bellinger was coming in. He looked like he was camping under it, but then I saw his arms go out to his side briefly, indicating that he lost the ball, and he never recovered. Right there. He doesn't see it. He's looking for help. Just lost it in this night sky.
Yeah, boy, and if you're going to right center, maybe you get some help for the center fielder. You're going over to the line. Nobody can help you. And Aaron Boone is on the mound and is going to leave Max Fried in the game. So the manager comes out, but he will leave his starting pitcher in. Loaisiga's ready if needed. And what a big spot for Miles Straw. Aaron Boone knows if he goes to Loaisiga, John Schneider's bringing either Wagner, Loperfido, or Lucas off the bench here. So Boone choosing this matchup, Fried and Straw. Straw's hit the ball pretty sharply twice tonight. Can he get something through the infield or in the air to the outfield to bring home the go-ahead run? Infield is in. And it's outside, ball 1.
Miles has hit the ball hard on the ground twice, but ideal in this situation where you want to get the ball in the air. He'll have to somehow pull those hands in and find a way to get the barrel there to get it in the air to the outfield.
Down the right field line, but fading foul out of play.
Just like that, you can see he was making an effort to stay inside with his hands. You keep those hands close to your body so the barrel trails.
And on that play, like let's say Bellinger had to make a tough catch over near the line. Clement had gone back to tag, which of course is the proper thing to do because you never know what might happen down there.
Absolutely. Anything in the air, if it's in foul territory to the outfield, you can still tag.
Yeah. Clement, a good base runner, pretty good speed. Will be interesting to see if the contact play is on, if the ball's hit on the ground.
Has to be. Take the shot.
Yeah. Inside, ball 2. Again, if Boone makes a change, Schneider makes some changes.
He's really feeling his finger.
Got it now, eh? Yeah.
I wonder if that was the purpose of the mound visit, checking on that finger.
Swing and a miss, 2-2. Looking at it again, almost after every pitch now. But this is the matchup they want. They want to keep those left-handed bats on the Blue Jay bench. Three and 2 on Straw. Leo Jimenez is the on-deck hitter.
Just wonder how much Fried is battling that right now. He continues to wipe his fingers on his right sleeve, the black part of his sleeves that he's wearing underneath his jersey. Almost as though to maybe dry it off or before he grabs the baseball. It's clearly bothering him.
Yep. If this is a different part of the order, he's out of the game.
A little bit of a cut. That's on his pinky.
The blister, I believe, is on the middle finger, so we couldn't see it from that shot. Down the left field line. A fair ball. And Miles Straw delivers with a huge RBI double to give the Blue Jays the lead.
That's the way you get it in the air. Miles continued and had a great at-bat. You could clearly see his approach was try to work underneath the baseball, get it in the air. He did just that. Right into that left field corner. Cutter down and in. Gets inside of it and keeps it fair while he's at it.
Fair by plenty. Clement in to score. What a moment for Straw. Fried is out of the game. Here comes Loizaga.
Across the world, McDonald's menu items are missing. Belgium's Biscoff McFlurry, gone. Japan's teriyaki chicken sandwich, stolen. Somehow, they're now in Canada, and it's up to you to try them all.
You see this offer from TD?
Yeah, I like that you can get cash from them. Not stuff we don't need.
Get up to $700. Start by opening a new eligible TD checking account. TD. Ready for you.
Put us in a box. Go ahead. That just gives us something to break out of. An opportunity to shatter expectations. In the next generation GMC Terrain AT4, what we choose to challenge, we challenge completely. We are professional grade.
Chill out or in, because Leon's summer comfort sale is on now. Get amazing summer savings on furniture and mattresses. Plus, save up to $1,000 on select appliance packages. Leon's, now that's comfortable.
Nathan Lucas about to enter the game. He will pinch hit for Leo Jimenez here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Blue Jays have taken a 5-4 lead. Another look at Max Fried. My understanding was the blister was on the middle finger, but maybe this is different because it does look like he's wiping the outside of his pinky finger on his sleeve. Whatever it was, there's a cut or a blister or a something, whether it's a continuation of the old issue or something new, but clearly he was bothered this inning by it. The Blue Jays also caught an enormous break as Cody Bellinger lost the ball in the twilight. And then how about Miles Straw?
What an at-bat.
Yeah, Jonathan Loizaga is now into the game for the Yankees. Aaron Boone was asked about Loizaga before the game. He's been a big-time reliever for them at times, and he said he was asked, would you consider using him in lower leverage? He hasn't been right for weeks. He's been getting hit hard. And Boone said for them to get where they want to get, he's got to help them get there. He's got to be a good pitcher in high leverage situations for them. So they're going back to him. Lucas with a fly ball to right center. Bellinger will make the catch. Straw tagging and will come to third. 2 down.
Always want to gain 90 feet when you can, and with the speed of Miles Straw, he does just that because it puts a lot of pressure now on the defense. With 2 outs, they have to field things cleanly to try to end this inning.
And another pinch hitter, Will Wagner, is going to bat for Davis Schneider. This is why Aaron Boone didn't take Fried out earlier. He decided he'd rather have Fried face Straw and Leo Jimenez, although it didn't get to Jimenez, rather than have Loaizaga face these guys. You know, had it been the Bichette, Guerrero, Springer part of the order, Fried had been out of the game. Outside, ball 1. Wagner will reach and the run will score.
That's why you tag up on a fly ball. This team just continues to do a lot of great little things. Miles Straw standing on second base, routine fly ball to right. It's 2 outs. He advances to third. There are more ways than one to score from third base with 2 outs, and this is one right here. You won't necessarily predict it, but this puts pressure on the defense. You put pressure on a defense that's already subpar,
yep.
Cash in another run.
That is the 3rd Yankee error of the game. Now George Springer lifts a fly ball to right center field. Grisham underneath it and makes the catch to end the inning. But the Blue Jays get those 2 runs back and get the lead back. How about Miles Straw? One of the biggest moments for him all season. 6-4 Blue Jays.
It's time for some WNBA action. Here's Plum. Oh, what a finish!
Sparks, Sun, Thursday on Sportsnet 1.
You see this offer from TD?
Yeah, I like that you can get cash from them. Not stuff we don't need.
Get up to $700. Start by opening a new eligible TD checking account. TD. Ready for you.
Hey, what did you do? Well, listen to music, took a hike, ran from the rain, went up a hill, went down a hill, made a friend, went for a paddle, played in a puddle. Oh, and we got pies.
We put more into every RAV4 because we know more is what you do.
Blue Jays, Tigers, tomorrow on Sportsnet.
So the Yankees keep hitting home runs. They've got 3 more tonight. The first one came off the bat of Jason Dominguez. Flight Path is presented by WestJet, the official airline of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, Jason Dominguez got the Yankees on the board early, and it was a line shot. It went 380 feet, but it was a bullet right into the Yankees bullpen. It put them up 1-0. They continue to use their power, and they're going to need some more power if they expect to come back from this one.
What a fascinating game. What a fascinating series this has been. Defensive changes for the Blue Jays after all that pinch hitting. And everybody who watches this team on a regular basis knows how this goes. So Ernie Clement moves over to second. Will Wagner stays in the game at third. And Nathan Lucas stays in the game at left. This series has kind of been what each of these teams has been this year, but like accentuated even more so. Do the Yankees hit home runs? Yeah, they do. And they've hit a ton in this series. They got 7 home runs in this 3-game series. Bassitt calling it out and pointing to make sure everybody could see it in that twilight. Guerrero had it 1 down. Do the Blue Jays put the ball in play? Yeah, they do. And they have like crazy in this series. And will the Yankees kick it around if you put it in play? Yeah, they will. And they have a lot this series. This is kind of who these 2 teams have been this year.
It's been very indicative of who the two teams are, and it's felt like playoff baseball.
Yep.
So it feels like every little move is amplified.
A strike to Anthony Volpe. Check swing, and it's 1-1. Volpe homered his last time up. Who's having more fun this year than George Springer? He's rejuvenated. Currently not as much fun over there, although there's a long way to go, and don't take them lightly.
Still a chance we see Paul Goldschmidt in this game before it's over.
Yep. And they've got Giancarlo Stanton on the bench too. And no matter what happens, there's more than 2 months of baseball still to come. And strike three called. Another pitch that appeared to be high. The second time tonight that Bassitt's gotten a called third strike on a pitch up there.
This might be
Aaron Boone giving Manny Gonzalez a piece of his mind. And Gonzalez handling it the same way that he did the last time, letting Boone.
Same way, but we'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah.
It's been more than once.
Yeah. And as you said, the manager's got a much better idea about high and low from the dugout than he does about in and out, and there it is.
Yeah.
So he gave him his say, but Boone kept going, or is it Matt Blake? It might have been Matt Blake. I'm not sure. It might have been somebody else. It might have been Matt Blake. Pitching coach, yeah, that's what Manny Gonzalez just said. I think Matt Blake got kicked out of the game.
Wonder if Aaron's going to last.
Oh, somebody out now.
Couldn't get it out of my mouth.
Yeah, and Boone might walk right beside him into the clubhouse, and now that he's gotten kicked out, he's going to get his money's worth. Boy, and you would think somebody else in the Yankee dugout might come out and maybe try to get between Boone and Gonzalez. This is getting really hot right now.
Well, they're going to have to sooner or later, but they are letting him have his say.
I mean, Luis Rojas, the third base coach, is standing about 25 feet away, and Boone is following Gonzalez way over to the Blue Jays side of the field. And now the crew chief, Ron Culpa, is getting in between Boone and Gonzalez and trying to usher him off the field. So Aaron Boone has been ejected, and the pitching coach, Matt Blake, has been ejected as well. And as if the fans here needed to get a little feistier or a little more riled up.
Well, Brad Osmus, the bench coach, will now take over for Aaron Boone.
Two down in the inning, and here's J.C. Escarra. Chris Bassitt trying to get through 7 against the Yankees. He has given up 4 runs. Yes, 3 of them earned. 3 home runs. Woo! That will stagger Guerrero, and he'll make the play. A terrific play by Guerrero, and how about the job Chris Bassitt has done tonight? Those 3 homers, the only 3 hits he's allowed to the New York Yankees tonight. How about another look at that play down at first by Guerrero? What a hop he got. What a play he made.
check, living like that old school groove. What you staring at me for? I'ma do me, so you do you. Tell me something now. Go ahead and do what you want. Don't play around. Go ahead and do what you want.
Locked in a stare down with Mother Nature, some willed, but others push forward. They are the real ones, and they drink a real good light beer. Sleeman Clear 2.0. Real ones know.
You see this offer from TD?
Yeah, I like that you can get cash from them. Not stuff we don't need.
Get up to $700. Start by opening a new eligible TD checking account. TD. Ready for you.
Arcan Trailers' legendary clearance sale is on at all locations from July 10th to 26th. Check out deals like the Coleman 25B for only $159 bi-weekly, or the Impression 360M YR, just $439 bi-weekly. For details, head to arcanrv.com.
Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Featuring Grave Digger, Sparkle Smash, and more. Coming to Rogers Place this weekend. Brought to you by BKT Tires. You have to see it live, so lock in your seats today at monsterjam.com.
Fans, the race to the postseason is heating up, and if you want access to the 2025 postseason, we'll guarantee it by becoming a 2026 season ticket member and lock in the best seats today. Visit bluejays.com/season tickets to learn more. Guys.
Emily, thank you. 6-4 Blue Jays going to the bottom of the 7th. Chris Bassitt, 7 innings, 4 runs, 3 earned. The pointed Guerrero, but now look at Bassitt. Is that him saying to John Schneider, will you give me one more inning? He's through 7 already on 91 pitches. He knows who is not available tonight out of the bullpen. Those two guys just had a meeting. Pete Walker's going to get on the phone. We'll see who gets up.
That lineup turning over very soon, too.
Scott Efros in the game now for the Yankees. We know Jeff Hoffman is down. Mason Fluharty went 2 innings last night. So you got to believe he's probably down. Only 21 pitches, but 2 innings. So they might be down at least a couple as Guerrero lines it into left center for a base hit. And it's kicked around by Dominguez. Vladdy is on his way to second and in there. That throw gets away. But assuming Dominguez is charged with an error, that it's a single and an error, that will be the 4th error on the Yankees in this game.
Vladdy coming around the first base bag, and as a base runner, you're always peeking up at the outfielder. And the first thing he sees is that bobble right there. And when you have to go back to get the baseball, you turn it into higher gear, and he's in there easily.
The Yankees have more errors than they have hits tonight. All 3 hits are homers, but they've committed 4 errors.
You need to hit a lot of homers to overcome that shoddy defense. It has haunted them tonight.
Bichette 0 for 3. And lifts a high fly ball to left. This one's got some carry. It's gone. Number 13 on the season for Bichette, a 2-run shot, and suddenly it is 8-4.
You're basically getting 2 pitches from Efros. It's the sinker and the sweeper. And Bo caught this breaking pitch down in the zone way out front, and he just flicked the wrist and got it in the air.
And again, the defense hurts the Yankees. 3 of the 8 runs unearned tonight. Now Kirk drills a ball up the alley in left center. This one gets by Dominguez. Kirk on his way to second. And he's there with a double.
Well, Bassitt comes in, and when you've got a new pitcher in the game, you're really trying to eliminate things, but you see how well he stays on this pitch. He's not an overpowering guy. You can afford to look right out over, and you can see that he is looking right out over, and he stays on top. His torso, his upper body is over top of the plate, getting to that breaking pitch, and just flicks it into the bullpen. These guys are doing it so many different ways, and Alejandro Kirk, you don't see him taking too many extra bases, but another misplay of sorts by Jason Dominguez in the left center gap, and even Alejandro takes the extra base.
Still nobody out. And by the way, nobody got up in the Blue Jay bullpen, so it looks like Chris Bassitt will at least begin the 8th inning. Here's Addison Barger trying to tack on some more. High fly to center. Just a couple of steps back. Now Grisham in a bit, and he'll make the catch for the first out. Boy, the 42,000 were ready to absolutely explode if Barger had gotten into one there. The 4th consecutive inning where the Blue Jays have scored 2 runs. And Bassitt's going to come back out. Remember, they're in a stretch of 14 games in 13 days. And there's nobody on the staff they trust more, you know, to go a little bit further, pitch that extra inning as Clement grounds out to third, than Chris Bassitt. He has done this before, and it matters to him. He wants to try to save the bullpen an out or an inning if he can. He understands the stretch they're in.
And any extra inning you can get out of your starting pitcher saves that bullpen, saves it for today, saves it for the next day, and you just keep fast forwarding. Any rest is good rest. Now Straw, one of the big hits in this game, the RBI double an inning ago that broke the tie. Battle to a full count against Max Fried, and then lined it into the left field corner. Ground ball to short. Volpe will just get him. Needed a stretch from Rice on the other end. 8-4 Blue Jays at the end of 7. Time now for a Blue Jays Central update with Jamie and Caleb in the Home Hardware studio.
Dan, take advantage of your outfield this summer and tackle all your summer projects with Home Hardware, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Look at how hard Miles Straw just ran on a ground out. You said something interesting about him as the 26th man on this team.
Probably the best 26th man in baseball in terms of he's so trustworthy. He plays the game the right way. He pressures the defense. Oh, and by the way, he gets a really huge 2-bagger off of Fried, and I love what he's done in this game. He took third base on this play right here. And don't forget, Miles Straw was in AAA for 99% of the season last year. He has so much to prove. He's playing like a man on a mission this season. He's been a perfect fit in the absence of Varsho. You can't say enough about what this one player individually has brought to the club.
The Blue Jays head to Detroit after tonight's ball game. Blue Jays Central tomorrow at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. We're back to the Rogers Center after this.
Why are people everywhere talking about Bet99 Casino? Because Vegas is just one click away. With live dealer tables including blackjack and roulette, plus Ontario's favorite slots. With over 2,500 casino games, Bet99 brings Vegas right to you. And you. And you. Bet99 Casino. We've got casino games for everyone. Download Bet99 today. Ontario's online casino.
Well, here's a great way to stay cool. On August 15th, the Blue Jays are giving away a reversible night mode bucket hat. Just be one of the first 15,000 fans in the building. Get your tickets today at bluejays.com/promotions. Guys.
Emily, thank you. What a wild game here tonight. And that's an understatement. It is 8-4 Blue Jays going to the top of the 8th, the rubber match of the 3-game series in front of another sellout here. 8-9-1, as you can see, 4 runs, 3 hits, all homers, and 4 errors committed by the Yankees. Chris Bassitt is out to at least begin the 8th inning. This is the first time this season Chris Bassitt will throw a pitch in the 8th inning of the game. And a pinch hitter for the Yankees, the left-hand hitting Jorbit Bibas, is batting for Oswald Peraza. This is down in the 9 spot for the Yankees. After this, 4 of the next 5 are left-handed batters. And lefty Justin Brule is up. So whether it's just this batter or batter by batter, we'll find out in real time, depending on how it goes here in the 8th inning.
Bassitt's done a good job against the left-handers tonight. Dominguez with the 1 homer.
Ground ball ranging to his right. Ernie Clement makes the play. And that was the plan. Just the 1 batter. And now John Schneider is out to take the ball from Chris Bassitt, who is about to get quite possibly the biggest ovation he has gotten in his 3 years as a member of the Blue Jays. And deservedly so.
Nothing really beats a good PB&J.
What about the new Game PB?
What did you say to me?
Game PB.
Agree to disagree.
Or disagree to agree.
Advil plus acetaminophen fights pain 2 ways by combining 2 trusted pain relievers into 1 tablet. Ibuprofen targets pain. Acetaminophen blocks pain signals. Advil plus acetaminophen fights pain for up to 8 hours.
I wanna get drunk right now, now, now. I wanna get drunk right now, now, now. Everybody's showing up right now, now, now. Walked in and line 'em up right now, now, now. I wanna get...
Get Walmart Express delivery in under 2 hours.
I want a hot dog, a juicy quarter-pound hot dog, topped with loaded toppings, like chili, cheese, and bacon, fully loaded with delicious toppings.
Give your taste buds something to sing about at New York Fries.
Shark Week, all this week on Discovery. Call your cable provider to order now.
Chris Bassitt 7 1/3 tonight. 3 hits, 3 earned runs, struck out 8. Even the normally kind of mild-mannered Davis Schneider is fired up.
I love it.
Boy, nothing like being in a race, huh? And the Blue Jays are in a race and looking to take the series from the Yankees as Justin Brule is in to face Trent Grisham.
Brule pitched a scoreless inning last night, and he is facing the top of the order again. He struck out Grisham looking to get things going. He recorded 3 quick outs after an intentional walk to Aaron Judge.
And a base hit into right field for Grisham. A 1-out single here in the 8th. Now a message from Home Hardware.
DIY projects on deck? Step up to the plate with the Celebrate Summer Sale. Only at Home Hardware.
8-4 Blue Jays, 1 on, 1 out in the 8th inning. Cody Bellinger, who is a very hot hitter coming into the game tonight and has hit lefties very well this season, takes high ball 1. Things can change in a hurry. Aaron Judge is on deck. Outside, ball 2.
2 pitches from Brule. It's sinker and sweeper. So as a left-handed batter, he can eliminate one, and he's right around that 50-50 range with those 2 pitches.
And another base hit. This is lined into right. So 2 lefties have singled off Brule, and now he's going to face Aaron Judge. This is his 3rd batter, so he has to face Judge. Pete Walker is on his way to the mound. Yariel Rodriguez is up, but again, Brule has to face Judge by rule.
Well, and that's where those runs come in handy. It's a 4-run lead. The tying run is standing on deck, not in the batter's box. Every run so important.
And just a guess, Joe, but I got to believe Brendan Little's down, or Brendan Little would be pitching right now. So Hoffman is down. It looks like Fluharty is down. Guessing Little is down. Can the Blue Jays cobble it together somehow to get the final 5 outs?
Little's pitched in 3 of the last 5. And you never know in terms of workload, prep, all that other stuff that they consider.
Or just how a guy's feeling.
Yeah.
Right? So Brule to face Judge. And strike 1. Judge homered his last time up. Ball and a strike. They've also got Braden Fisher, who we saw up earlier tonight. Tommy Nance hasn't pitched in the series yet. And we haven't even seen Chad Green get up in the bullpen in this series.
Clear plan seems to be just to stay away from Judge, and that could have been the mound visit from Pete Walker. Just throw those sinkers out there. Don't try to get key with anything else. Use your most controllable pitch and see if you can't get him to roll something over.
The 1-2. Ground ball to short. Bassitt to second for 1, on to first in time. Will the Yankees challenge? The Blue Jays want to come off the field.
First or second base challenge is the question.
They are challenging the call at first base.
Outstanding job by Brule. He got that sinker out there again, and what did he do? He got him to reach out and roll it over.
Watch the quick release by Clement.
It is in and out of his glove. Ooh.
Wow.
Good stretch by Vladdy. He got there as far as he could, but he looks like he had his foot
I
down.
think his foot's down. Yep. Wow. I mean, it's razor thin if he beat it. Let's leave it to the folks in New York. They're the ones who will make the decision. There's the replay command center. Call on the field was out. Ron Culpa, the crew chief, who's had a busy night with these challenges tonight.
All eyes in the stadium here at the Rogers Center are on the scoreboard in center field.
Whatever the decision is, the reaction in this building is going to be loud. They don't come much closer than this. Here we go.
After review to call field, the runner at second is out. The runner at first, call is out. Stand.
So they challenged both. Both were upheld. It's a double play. And it's still 8-4 Blue Jays.
This MLB season, bet live with FanDuel and make the game come alive. Any homer can feel like a walk-off. Every base, a path to victory. And any strikeout can pay out. Make baseball come alive when you bet live this season with FanDuel, North America's #1 sportsbook.
This isn't your first time flying to show support for your team, but it is the first time you use the wrong kind of paint.
It says here you could try mayonnaise.
WestJet, where your story takes off.
Dry eyes ruining the moment? Get fast relief with HydraSense eye drops. Made with a naturally sourced lubricant that works to attract and retain moisture. HydraSense eye drops.
Superman is the #1 movie in the world. Experience the movie of that, unlike anything we've ever seen. In theaters everywhere now playing.
Just about 2.5 hours remain in the monster Blue Jays Care 50-50 jackpot, closing in on $2.5 million. And as an added bonus, Joe Carter is going to be calling the winner tomorrow. Look at that. That is incredible, life-changing, and wonderful for Jays Care as well as part of the 50-50 draw. 8-4 Blue Jays going to the bottom of the 8th inning, as the outs were upheld at both second and first. Justin Brule gets Aaron Judge to hit into a double play to end that threat. And here's JT Brubaker on to the bottom of the 8th. Starting Nathan Lucas with a strike. Bebas stays in the game at third. Lucas with his second at bat came on as a pinch hitter in the 6th.
Brubaker pitched 2 perfect innings on Monday night here in that 4-1 Blue Jays victory. Former starters got a wide variety of pitches, a sinker around 93, 94, slider, changeup, curveball, mixes them all in.
If the Blue Jays go on to win this game, they will have won games in the last 5 days where the opponent started Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, Carlos Rodon, and Max Fried. 4 All-Stars.
Remember when we were saying in the next 10 games they're facing those 5 pitchers? Now they'll see Tarek Skubal in Detroit. I don't think it matters anymore to these guys. They're going to put their best foot forward, and that's causing all kinds of chaos.
Ball 4 to Lucas.
Stream on, game on with Rogers Xfinity. Stream, share, and score big with Canada's most reliable internet.
8-4 Blue Jays, bottom 8, 42,143 here tonight. Will Wagner the batter, and this one will get out of play. Wagner's second at bat. He came up as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning with Miles Straw at third and 2 down, and hit the ball down to first. Ben Rice tried to make a backhanded play, could not come up with it, committed an error, and a run came in to score. 0-2. And grounded up the middle. Volpe will step on the bag and complete the double play. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and just now popping back up the stairs onto the bullpen mound is Yariel Rodriguez. It looks like he'll get the 9th. Now there are 2 lefties to lead it off in Rice and Chisholm, and the left-handed Justin Brule is in the game, so we'll see how they play it. This one bounces off Bibas, and Springer is safe. A hard hit ball down to third that ate up Jorbit Bibas.
Well, the ball sure will find you. You come into the ball game, and this ball's hit hard off the bat of George Springer, and it short hopped the third baseman. He just can't come up with it cleanly.
Springer credited with a base hit on this play. And that will get Guerrero to the plate. Vladdy is 2 for 4, a single, a double, and 2 RBIs. That double back in the 4th, you know, it seems like it happened about 8 games ago because of how much has gone on in this game tonight, but that double back in the 4th was one of the biggest moments of the game. And produced the first run tonight for the Blue Jays. Brule getting that big double play ball off the bat of Aaron Judge to end that threat in the top of the 8th. It was getting serious in a hurry. Close, but back in is Springer.
George looks like he's getting antsy over there, maybe trying to get a good jump. That looked like he was real close. Yeah.
And they're challenging.
Crew chief review.
So they've lost their challenge, but 8th inning and beyond, you can ask for a crew chief review, and the Yankees want one here. Did he get him on the hip before the hand was on the base?
And this is why you see first basemen stand at the first base bag in front of the bag and into the field of play a hair, so that when they catch the baseball, you can tag the runner in the lower part of his body, hopefully before his hand gets in there. Now Rice is a right-handed throwing first baseman, so his glove's on his left hand. He has to reach around and across, as opposed to a left-handed throwing firstman. That glove would be on his right hand to take it right into the body of the runner.
Does he have him there? And the hand is not yet on the bag at that moment. They've been busy in the video review room tonight, just with this game.
And a lot of these plays are so close that even Rice, the first baseman, and George, the runner, they're probably talking back. Do you think you had me? I don't know.
After review, to call in the field stands, the runner's safe.
When things are going well, things are going well. The call on the field stands. Not enough evidence to overturn it. Springer is 12 for 12 stealing bases this year. You said about it, he was looking a little itchy over there. Let's see if he's on the move. Here he goes. And it's fouled off.
Well, they could have something on Brubaker, or just the fact that J.C. Escarra has not had a lot of success throwing runners out this season, just 1 for 20. His throwing arm is pretty decent. He gets rid of the ball, but has not had a good success rate. Take advantage of the pitcher when you can.
Going again. And Guerrero went around, so it is strike 3 and the inning is over. Guerrero's asking for the appeal. Manny Gonzalez made the call himself. John Schneider is out because Vladdy is kind of heated, and you just want to get Vladdy away and go on to the 9th inning. You got a 4-run lead, so Gonzalez making the call, and Guerrero strikes out. And that'll be that. Schneider will talk to Gonzalez during the break, but it's on to the 9th. Rodriguez coming in.
Get Walmart Express delivery in under 2 hours.
Isn't it absolutely bonkers that you can walk into a store, hand someone a piece of plastic, and they will willingly hand over Reese's cups? Forget flying cars. This is it. We're at the pinnacle.
Bring on the best.
The anticipation is building here.
2 weeks.
Are you kidding me?
2 cities.
Oh, perfect. Enthusiastic sellout crowd.
1 incredible tournament.
That's going to get the crowd on their feet.
Canada's premier tennis event.
There's your highlight reel right there. Oh, no.
Our home court advantage. The National Bank Open, presented by Rogers, begins July 27th on Sportsnet.
Hey, Ken Reed, Tim McCall, We Have Sports. Oh, did you see what happened there? I committed an error, Tim. I can't wait to hear from Aaron Boone. I was watching my kids' baseball game tonight, as you know. Oh, man, the Yankees kind of looking like kids' baseball out there.
4 errors thus far. It'll be interesting to hear from Aaron Boone, and we'll get you the best from the rest of baseball. Coming up on this edition of Sportsnet Central as the Jays try to close this one out. 7th win in 10 games against the Yankees. We'll see if they can close it out.
Top of the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays 3 outs away from winning this series and taking a 4-game lead atop the American League East. A win would also clinch the season series for the Blue Jays, meaning they would win any tiebreaker. If there was any kind of 2-team tiebreaker for the division or a wild card spot, it would go the Blue Jays' way. Yariel Rodriguez in for the 9th. Addison Barger is now at 3rd. Joey Loperfido is in left, and Nathan Lucas has moved to right. The batter is Ben Rice. Remember, Aaron Judge was the last out in the 8th, which is just the thing you're happiest about right now if you're John Schneider.
Well, Yariel got 2 big outs on Monday night here to get them out of an 8th inning before Jeff Hoffman came in and struck out the side. This is not a safe situation, but you can define it any way you want.
Line to right, and that ball is caught by a sliding Lucas.
If he secures this, I'll call it a save, because he's saving this game. Defense has so much versatility for this Blue Jays club, and John Schneider just keeps moving them around, and wherever you put them, they can make plays. Nathan Lucas coming up that time.
Back to the Guerrero play really quickly to end the bottom of the 8th. The official scorer, we believe, called this batter interference. That Guerrero, well, he didn't do anything. I mean, we were told that there was batter interference there, meaning that he impeded the catcher's ability to throw the ball down to second.
Sure didn't look like it.
It sure didn't look like it. One way or another, it was the 3rd out, and what's going on now more important, as they are now 2 outs away. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is the batter. One of those nights again where so many different players contributed offensively for the Blue Jays. They got 2 runs in 4 consecutive innings from the 4th through the 7th. That ball is high. It's 3-0. Guerrero a couple of hits and a couple of RBIs. Bo Bichette with a 2-run homer. Miles Straw with a big RBI double. Ernie Clement an RBI single. Ooh, a wide strike, and it's 3-1. And of course, the 4 errors committed by the Yankees are part of this story as well. And now Chisholm in conversation with Manny Gonzalez about the strike zone. And earlier tonight, manager Aaron Boone, pitching coach Matt Blake were both ejected from the game. The 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 3-2. Fly ball left field. Loper Fido has room. 2 down. 50-50 draw closing in on $2.6 million. It's up and running till midnight tonight. Joe Carter calls the winner tomorrow. Don't forget, speaking of tomorrow, the Blue Jays will begin a 4-game series in Detroit against the Tigers. Fly ball left center. Straw is there, and the Blue Jays win the series. What a game this was tonight, as the Blue Jays beat the Yankees 8-4, take 2 out of 3, and are now 4 games up in the American League East, and Joe are now tied with the Houston Astros for the best record in the American League.
And what a series this was for the Blue Jays. Tied coming into tonight, facing a very difficult pitcher in Max Fried, but the Blue Jays know very well they can beat anybody right now, and they did it to the Yankees in this decisive game, and they did it their way. Many different ways, and they keep on doing it. They have certainly given themselves a name of the way they go about their business.
As mentioned, they have now won the season series from the Yankees as well, and they will head to Detroit feeling awfully good about things. Time now for Sportsnet Central with Tim and Ken.
Thank you, Dan. This is Sportsnet Central. Ken Reed, Tim McAuliffe. Timmy, when a ballpark becomes carnival-esque and you get that carnival-like, wrestling-like atmosphere, you can't go wrong. That was a wild one tonight.
That was electric in the yard, and I think it had something to do with the Yankees booting it around a little bit. But the Jays now, Kenny, as I write it down, a major league best since May 8th, 44-22.
Wow. Sometimes you beat the other team. Sometimes the other team beat themselves. Kind of interesting how the guys are going to look at this one. Jamie and Caleb in the Home Hardware Studio. Take it away for an error-free segment.
Well, Ken, I'll start then, and I'll get right to the matter of fact, and that is that the Yankees defensively are an atrocious baseball team because they've proved it over the course of this series. Let us not forget the sizability of this game. The Blue Jays are now 4 clear of New York. A loss in this one, and it's 2, and that is substantial. Let's go over just how awful this defensive performance by the Yankees was in losing to the Blue Jays, Caleb.
The Yankees have a ton of sluggers. They're built to slug the baseball. And a lot of times when you add slug, you add bad defense as well. And in an era where there is a ton of whiff, when there are a ton of balls not put in play, you can hide bad defenders from time to time. And then you add the element of the Blue Jays, which is pressure, which is run hard, which is get in the heads of the defenders. This started weeks ago. This game is a byproduct of an entire season of the Blue Jays playing the game a certain way. And of course, you have a little bit of luck here and there. Bellinger doesn't get that ball, but Ernie Clement is running right out the box. He ends up at third base. This is a byproduct of a season's worth of hard work. These defenders were pressured. They were obviously sped up. This was the entire series. They just started getting to the point where it was an embarrassment. If I'm a New York Yankees fan, I'm totally embarrassed watching this type of defense. And you know what is so amazing about this? The Blue Jays created all of these types of scenarios. A lot of times, you got to create your own luck. You got to create scenarios where you can pressure those defenders. If you're whiffing and you have a ton of strikeouts, you're not putting balls in play, you're not giving those defenders a chance to boot the ball around. But this was an atrocious game to which the Blue Jays found a way to take full advantage of, especially against one of the toughest pitchers in the league in Max Fried. They wore him down, they put the ball in play, let them boot it around, took full advantage of him. Some people are going to say they got lucky in this game. I'm going to say they played their game. They exposed a weakness on the other side, and that is